sanity, sanity,
精神の健全さ。
regain sanity, regain sanity, question her sanity, question her sanity, loss of sanity, loss of sanity, sanity,
正気。
nationwide, nationwide,
全国にわたる。
nationwide campaign, nationwide campaign, broadcast nationwide, broadcast nationwide, nationwide protest, nationwide protest, nationwide,
全国的な、全国的に。
legacy, legacy,
残されたもの、遺産。
family legacy, family legacy, cultural legacy, cultural legacy, leave a legacy, leave a legacy, legacy,
遺産。
shove, shove,
乱暴に押す。
shove him aside, shove him aside, give a shove, give a shove, shove into the room, shove into the room, shove,
押す、強く押すこと。
adjustable, adjustable,
調整できる。
adjustable chair, adjustable chair, adjustable strap, adjustable strap, height adjustable, height adjustable, adjustable,
調節可能な。
disabled, disabled,
障害のある。
disabled access, disabled access, mentally disabled, mentally disabled, support disabled people, support disabled people, disabled,
障害のある、無効にされた。
lure, lure,
誘惑、誘い寄せる。
lure customers, lure customers, lure with money, lure with money, bait or lure, bait or lure, lure,
誘い込む、誘惑。
expanse, expanse,
広がった空間。
open expanse, open expanse, vast expanse, vast expanse, expanse of land, expanse of land, expanse,
広がり、広大な空間。
smuggle, smuggle,
秘密裏に物を運ぶ。
smuggle drugs, smuggle drugs, smuggle across the border, smuggle across the border, caught smuggling, caught smuggling, smuggle,
密輸する。
endorse, endorse,
公に支持する、承認する。
endorse a candidate, endorse a candidate, endorse the policy, endorse the policy, Celebrity endorsement. Celebrity endorsement. Endorse.
支持する、裏書きする。
Novice. Novice.
経験の浅い人。
Novice driver. Novice driver. A complete novice. A complete novice. Novice at cooking. Novice at cooking. Novice.
初心者。
Deprivation. Deprivation.
必要なものの不足。
Sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation. Economic deprivation. Economic deprivation. Suffer deprivation. Suffer deprivation. Deprivation.
欠如、奪われること。
Breach. Breach.
違反、破ること。
Breach of contract. Breach of contract. Security breach. Security breach. Breach the wall. Breach the wall. Breach.
違反、破る。
Compelling. Compelling.
非常に説得力のある。
Compelling argument. Compelling argument. Compelling reason. Compelling reason. Compelling story. Compelling story. Compelling.
説得力のある。
Conspicuous. Conspicuous.
目立つ、明白な。
Conspicuous change. Conspicuous change. Conspicuous success. Conspicuous success. Stand in a conspicuous place. Stand in a conspicuous place. Conspicuous.
目立つ、顕著な。
Barren. Barren.
貴族、大物実業家。
Oil baron. Oil baron. Baron of industry. Baron of industry. Title of baron. Title of baron. Baron.
男爵、大物。
Trot. Trot.
早足で進む。
Trot around the field. Trot around the field. Trot the horse. Trot the horse. Break into a trot. Break into a trot. Trot.
早足で歩く、早足。
Supposedly. Supposedly.
おそらく、表向きは。
Supposedly safe. Supposedly safe. Supposedly true. Supposedly true. Supposedly from France. Supposedly from France. Supposedly.
おそらく。
Mother-in-law. Mother-in-law.
配偶者の母。
Visit mother-in-law. Visit mother-in-law. Talk with my mother-in-law. Talk with my mother-in-law. Mother-in-law's advice. Mother-in-law's advice. Mother-in-law.
義母。
Frail. Frail.
弱々しい、壊れやすい。
frail old man, frail old man. Frail health, frail health. Frail bones, frail bones. Frail,
弱い、壊れやすい。
withhold, withhold.
与えずに保つ。
Withhold information, withhold information. Withhold consent, withhold consent. Withhold payment, withhold payment. Withhold,
差し控える。
affirmative, affirmative.
肯定する、賛成の。
Affirmative answer, affirmative answer. Give an affirmative nod, give an affirmative nod. Affirmative response, affirmative response. Affirmative,
肯定的な、賛成の。
spouse, spouse.
夫または妻。
Married spouse, married spouse. Spouse visa, spouse visa. Talk with my spouse, talk with my spouse. Spouse,
配偶者。
consolidate, consolidate.
まとめる、強くする。
Consolidate companies, consolidate companies. Consolidate power, consolidate power. Consolidate debt, consolidate debt. Consolidate,
統合する、強化する。
attic, attic.
家の屋根裏部屋。
Store in the attic, store in the attic. Climb to the attic, climb to the attic. Dusty attic, dusty attic. Attic,
屋根裏。
hinge, hinge.
回転を可能にする金具。
Door hinge, door hinge. Hinge squeaks, hinge squeaks. Hinge of the argument, hinge of the argument. Hinge,
蝶つがい、用。
quota, quota.
定められた量、数。
Sales quota, sales quota. Reach the quota, reach the quota. Quota system, quota system. Quota,
割り当て、ノルマ。
creed, creed.
信念、宗教的教義。
Religious creed, religious creed. Live by one's creed, live by one's creed. Moral creed, moral creed. Creed,
信条。
endow, endow.
与える、寄付する。
Endow a university, endow a university. Endowed with talent, endowed with talent. Endow a fund, endow a fund. Endow,
寄付する、授ける。
stammer, stammer,
言葉に詰まる。
stammer nervously, stammer nervously, stammer reply, stammer reply, child with a stammer, child with a stammer, stammer,
口ごもる、どもり。
irrelevant, irrelevant,
関係のない。
irrelevant comment, irrelevant comment, irrelevant to the topic, irrelevant to the topic, deemed irrelevant, deemed irrelevant, irrelevant,
無関係な。
radiation, radiation,
放出されるエネルギー。
radiation exposure, radiation exposure, solar radiation, solar radiation, radiation therapy, radiation therapy, radiation,
放射線、放射。
questionnaire, questionnaire,
質問票、アンケート。
fill out a questionnaire, fill out a questionnaire, customer questionnaire, customer questionnaire, distribute questionnaires, distribute questionnaires, questionnaire,
アンケート。
realism, realism,
現実への適用、写実的手法。
artistic realism, artistic realism, political realism, political realism, approach with realism, approach with realism, realism,
現実主義、写実主義。
bleak, bleak,
寒々しい、希望のない。
bleak future, bleak future, bleak landscape, bleak landscape, bleak situation, bleak situation, bleak,
暗い、希望のない。
adverse, adverse,
不利な、有害な。
adverse effects, adverse effects, adverse conditions, adverse conditions, adverse reaction, adverse reaction, adverse,
不利な、有害な。
theft, theft,
無断で奪うこと。
car theft, car theft, charged with theft, charged with theft, prevent theft, prevent theft, theft,
盗み、窃盗。
lunar, lunar,
月に関する。
lunar surface, lunar surface, lunar calendar, lunar calendar, lunar mission, lunar mission, lunar,
月の。
coalition, coalition,
一時的な同盟。
form a coalition, form a coalition, coalition government, Coalition government. Coalition partners. Coalition partners. Coalition.
連立、連合。
Barren. Barren.
生産できない、不毛な。
Barren land. Barren land. Barren tree. Barren tree. Barren result. Barren result. Barren.
不毛の、実を結ばない。
Transparency. Transparency.
明確で隠し立てのないこと。
Financial transparency. Financial transparency. Demand transparency. Demand transparency. Transparency in government. Transparency in government. Transparency.
透明性。
Afflict. Afflict.
苦しめる。
Afflict the population. Afflict the population. Afflicted by disease. Afflicted by disease. Afflict the poor. Afflict the poor. Afflict.
苦しめる。
Bishop. Bishop.
教会の行為聖職者。
Catholic bishop. Catholic bishop. Appoint a bishop. Appoint a bishop. Bishop's authority. Bishop's authority. Bishop.
司教。
Clarity. Clarity.
明瞭でわかりやすいこと。
Clarity of speech. Clarity of speech. Lack of clarity. Lack of clarity. Bring clarity. Bring clarity. Clarity.
明確さ、透明度。
Disability. Disability.
身体、精神の障害。
Physical disability. Physical disability. Disability benefit. Disability benefit. Learning disability. Learning disability. Disability.
障害。
Plea. Plea.
嘆願、申し立って。
Make a plea. Make a plea. Plea for help. Plea for help. Enter a plea. Enter a plea. Plea.
嘆願、申し立て。
Brink. Brink.
淵、極限。
On the brink of war. On the brink of war. Brink of collapse. Brink of collapse. Brink of success. Brink of success. Brink.
瀬戸際、淵。
Compile. Compile.
集めてまとめる。
Compile data. Compile data. Compile a report. Compile a report. Compile a book. Compile a book. Compile.
編集する、まとめる。
Confinement. Confinement.
閉じ込められること、出産。
solitary confinement, solitary confinement. House confinement, house confinement. During her confinement, during her confinement. Confinement,
閉じ込め、出産。
clasp, clasp.
しっかり握る、留め具。
Clasp hands, clasp hands. Silver clasp, silver clasp. Clasp the bag shut, clasp the bag shut. Clasp,
留め金、しっかり握る。
entrepreneur, entrepreneur.
事業を始める人。
Young entrepreneur, young entrepreneur. Successful entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneur spirit, entrepreneur spirit. Entrepreneur,
起業家。
encyclopedia, encyclopedia.
あらゆる知識をまとめた本。
Online encyclopedia, online encyclopedia. Look up in the encyclopedia, look up in the encyclopedia. Encyclopedia entry, encyclopedia entry. Encyclopedia,
百科事典。
compassion, compassion.
同情心、思いやり。
Show compassion, show compassion. Compassion for others, compassion for others. Act with compassion, act with compassion. Compassion,
思いやり。
recipient, recipient.
受け取る人。
Award recipient, award recipient. Recipient of the letter, recipient of the letter. Scholarship recipient, scholarship recipient. Recipient,
受取人。
aspire, aspire.
熱望する、目指す。
Aspire to greatness, aspire to greatness. Aspire to become, aspire to become. Aspire for success, aspire for success. Aspire,
熱望する。
galaxy, galaxy.
星の集まり、銀河。
Distant galaxy, distant galaxy. Galaxy of stars, galaxy of stars. The Milky Way galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. Galaxy,
銀河、星の集まり。
snort, snort.
花を鳴らす、あざける。
Snort and laughter, snort and laughter. Snort in anger, snort in anger. A loud snort, a loud snort. Snort,
花を鳴らす、鼻息。
amid, amid.
の最中に。
Amid the chaos, amid the chaos. Amid tears, amid tears. Amid applause. Amid applause. Amid.
の中で、
Humidity. Humidity.
空気中の湿気、
High humidity. High humidity. Measure humidity. Measure humidity. Humidity level. Humidity level. Humidity.
湿度、
Relevance. Relevance.
関連があること、
Relevance to the topic. Relevance to the topic. Lack of relevance. Lack of relevance. Cultural relevance. Cultural relevance. Relevance.
関連性、
Judicial. Judicial.
司法、裁判に関する、
Judicial system. Judicial system. Judicial authority. Judicial authority. Judicial review. Judicial review. Judicial.
司法の、裁判の、
Extinct. Extinct.
絶滅した、消滅した、
Extinct species. Extinct species. Go extinct. Go extinct. Almost extinct. Almost extinct. Extinct.
絶滅した、
Clench. Clench.
強く握る、食いしばる、
Clench a fist. Clench a fist. Clench teeth. Clench teeth. Clench in anger. Clench in anger. Clench.
握りしめる、食いしばる、
Integrate. Integrate.
統合する、融合させる、
Integrate systems. Integrate systems. Integrate into society. Integrate into society. Fully integrated. Fully integrated. Integrate.
統合する、溶け込ませる、
Coincidence. Coincidence.
偶然の一致、
Pure coincidence. Pure coincidence. Strange coincidence. Strange coincidence. Coincidence of events. Coincidence of events. Coincidence.
偶然の一致、
Wag. Wag.
振る、揺れる、
Wag a tail. Wag a tail. Wag a finger. Wag a finger. Dog wagging. Dog wagging. Wag.
振る、振ること、
Conspire. Conspire.
密かに企てる、
Conspire to commit. Conspire to commit. Conspire against. Conspire against. Secretly conspire. Secretly conspire. Conspire.
共謀する、
Dough. Dough.
パンなどの聖地、金、
Knead the dough. Knead the dough. Roll out the dough. Roll out the dough. Make a lot of dough. Make a lot of dough. Dough.
パンセイチ、金。
Congregation. Congregation.
集まり、宗教的改宗。
Church congregation. Church congregation. Address the congregation. Address the congregation. Gathering of the congregation. Gathering of the congregation. Congregation.
集会、改宗。
Accumulation. Accumulation.
実感をかけて集めること。
Accumulation of wealth. Accumulation of wealth. Fat accumulation. Fat accumulation. Gradual accumulation. Gradual accumulation. Accumulation.
蓄積、累積。
Relish. Relish.
大いに楽しむ、味わう。
Relish the moment. Relish the moment. Eat with relish. Eat with relish. Relish the challenge. Relish the challenge. Relish.
味わう、風味。
Bully. Bully.
いじめる、いじめっ子。
School bully. School bully. Bully someone online. Bully someone online. Stand up to a bully. Stand up to a bully. Bully.
いじめっ子、いじめる。
Migration. Migration.
場所の移動。
Bird migration. Bird migration. Human migration. Human migration. Seasonal migration. Seasonal migration. Migration.
移動、移住。
Sprawl. Sprawl.
だらしなく広がる。
Urban sprawl. Urban sprawl. Sprawl on the sofa. Sprawl on the sofa. Sprawl of buildings. Sprawl of buildings. Sprawl.
手足を伸ばして座る、だらしない格好。
Compress. Compress.
押し縮める。
Compress a file. Compress a file. Compress data. Compress data. Compress with pressure. Compress with pressure. Compress.
圧縮する、縮める。
Superstitious. Superstitious.
迷信を信じている。
Superstitious belief. Superstitious belief. Highly superstitious. Highly superstitious. Superstitious behavior. Superstitious behavior. Superstitious.
迷信を信じる。
Aging. Aging.
年を取ること。
Signs of aging. Signs of aging. Aging population. Aging population. Aging skin. Aging skin. aging,
老化の。
irrational, irrational,
理にかなっていない。
irrational fear, irrational fear, irrational behavior, irrational behavior, completely irrational, completely irrational, irrational,
非合理的な。
stroll, stroll,
ゆっくり歩く。
take a stroll, take a stroll, evening stroll, evening stroll, stroll in the park, stroll in the park, stroll,
ぶらつく、散歩。
sculptor, sculptor,
彫刻を作る人。
famous sculptor, famous sculptor, stone sculptor, stone sculptor, meet the sculptor, meet the sculptor, sculptor,
彫刻家。
congressional, congressional,
議会に関する。
congressional meeting, congressional meeting, congressional hearing, congressional hearing, congressional district, congressional district, congressional,
議会の。
prickly, prickly,
トゲのある、怒りっぽい。
prickly plant, prickly plant, prickly feeling, prickly feeling, prickly mood, prickly mood, prickly,
トゲのある、怒りっぽい。
degradation, degradation,
品質、状態の低下。
environmental degradation, environmental degradation, moral degradation, moral degradation, degradation of quality, degradation of quality, degradation,
劣化、低下。
authentic, authentic,
本物の、信頼性のある。
authentic experience, authentic experience, authentic signature, authentic signature, authentic dish, authentic dish, authentic,
本物の、信頼できる。
enroll, enroll,
登録する、入学する。
enroll in school, enroll in school, enroll a course, enroll a course, newly enrolled students, newly enrolled students, enroll,
登録する、入学する。
transplant, transplant,
移す、移植する。
organ transplant, organ transplant, transplant a tree, transplant a tree, undergo a transplant, undergo a transplant, transplant,
移植する、移植。
pickpocket, pickpocket,
ポケットから盗む人。
skilled pickpocket, skilled pickpocket, Watch for pickpockets. Watch for pickpockets. Caught a pickpocket. Caught a pickpocket. Pickpocket.
釣りをする。
Contributor. Contributor.
寄稿する人。
Regular contributor. Regular contributor. Contributor to success. Contributor to success. Major contributor. Major contributor. Contributor.
貢献者、寄稿者。
Deathbed. Deathbed.
死を迎えるベッド。
On his deathbed. On his deathbed. Deathbed confession. Deathbed confession. Deathbed scene. Deathbed scene. Deathbed.
臨終の章。
Botany. Botany.
植物に関する学問。
Study botany. Study botany. Botany textbook. Botany textbook. Professor of botany. Professor of botany. Botany.
植物学。
Scrub. Scrub.
ゴシゴシこする。
Scrub the floor. Scrub the floor. Scrub hard. Scrub hard. A good scrub. A good scrub. Scrub.
ゴシゴシ洗う、すること。
Epidemic. Epidemic.
広がる病気や現象。
Flu epidemic. Flu epidemic. Epidemic of fear. Epidemic of fear. Prevent an epidemic. Prevent an epidemic. Epidemic.
流行病、流行している。
Audit. Audit.
帳簿やシステムの精査。
Financial audit. Financial audit. Audit the company. Audit the company. Internal audit. Internal audit. Audit.
監査する、監査。
Equilibrium. Equilibrium.
バランスの取れた状態。
Maintain equilibrium. Maintain equilibrium. Emotional equilibrium. Emotional equilibrium. Equilibrium point. Equilibrium point. Equilibrium.
均衡、平衡。
Endanger. Endanger.
危険にさらす。
Endanger species. Endanger species. Endanger lives. Endanger lives. Endanger the planet. Endanger the planet. Endanger.
危険にさらす。
Right. Right.
宗教、形式的な儀式。
Initiation rite. Initiation rite. Funeral rite. Funeral rite. Performer rite. Performer rite. Rite.
儀式。
Buddy. Buddy.
親しい友達、相棒。
best buddy, best buddy. Gym buddy, gym buddy. Travel with a buddy, travel with a buddy. Buddy,
仲間、相棒。
yearn, yearn.
深く願う。
Yearn for peace, yearn for peace. Yearn to see, yearn to see. Yearn for freedom, yearn for freedom. Yearn,
絶望する。
subside, subside.
和らぐ、沈む。
Storm subsides, storm subsides. Pain subsides, pain subsides. Floodwaters subside, floodwaters subside. Subside,
収まる、沈下する。
sneak, sneak.
こっそり動く、持ち込む。
Sneak out, sneak out. Sneak into the room, sneak into the room. Sneak a snack, sneak a snack. Sneak,
こっそり動く、こそこそした人。
custody, custody.
誰かを保護、拘束すること。
In police custody, in police custody. Child custody, child custody. Gain custody, gain custody. Custody,
交流、養育権。
retailer, retailer.
消費者に販売する業者。
Online retailer, online retailer. Retailer network, retailer network. Retailers sell products, retailers sell products. Retailer,
小売業者。
pilgrim, pilgrim.
宗教的理由で旅する人。
Religious pilgrim, religious pilgrim. Pilgrim journey, pilgrim journey. Group of pilgrims, group of pilgrims. Pilgrim,
巡礼者。
volcanic, volcanic.
火山に関する。
Volcanic eruption, volcanic eruption. Volcanic activity, volcanic activity. Volcanic ash, volcanic ash. Volcanic,
火山の。
notify, notify.
正式に知らせる。
Notify the police, notify the police. Notify by email, notify by email. Notify in advance, notify in advance. Notify,
通知する。
mow, mow.
芝や草を刈る。
Mow the lawn, mow the lawn. Mow regularly, mow regularly. Grass needs mowing, grass needs mowing. Mow,
芝を刈る。
turmoil, turmoil,
混乱した状態。
political turmoil, political turmoil, in turmoil, in turmoil, economic turmoil, economic turmoil, turmoil,
混乱、騒動。
extravagant, extravagant,
度こして使う。
extravagant lifestyle, extravagant lifestyle, extravagant gift, extravagant gift, be extravagant with money, be extravagant with money, extravagant,
贅沢な、浪費的な。
anatomy, anatomy,
体の構造の研究。
study anatomy, study anatomy, human anatomy, human anatomy, anatomy class, anatomy class, anatomy,
解剖学、構造。
array, array,
整然とした並び。
a wide array, a wide array, array of options, array of options, arrayed neatly, arrayed neatly, array,
配列、整列させる。
gale, gale,
非常に強い風。
gale force winds, gale force winds, caught in a gale, caught in a gale, howling gale, howling gale, gale,
強風。
sniff, sniff,
匂いを嗅ぐ、鼻をすする。
sniff the air, sniff the air, sniff suspiciously, sniff suspiciously, sniff of perfume, sniff of perfume, sniff,
匂いを嗅ぐ、くんくん嗅ぐこと。
likelihood, likelihood,
何かが起こる可能性。
high likelihood, high likelihood, likelihood of rain, likelihood of rain, increase the likelihood, increase the likelihood, likelihood,
可能性。
voucher, voucher,
交換、割引の証明書。
meal voucher, meal voucher, gift voucher, gift voucher, redeem a voucher, redeem a voucher, voucher,
引換券、クーポン。
dynamics, dynamics,
変化を生む力、動き。
family dynamics, family dynamics, market dynamics, market dynamics, social dynamics, social dynamics, dynamics,
力学、動態。
portfolio, portfolio,
作品集、資産の構成。
investment portfolio, investment portfolio, design portfolio, design portfolio, Diverse portfolio. Diverse portfolio. Portfolio.
書類入れ、資産構成。
Gulp. Gulp.
素早く飲むこと。
Gulp water. Gulp water. Gulp in fear. Gulp in fear. Big gulp. Big gulp. Gulp.
ごくごく飲む、人飲み。
Redundant. Redundant.
余分な、不要になった。
Redundant staff. Redundant staff. Redundant words. Redundant words. Be made redundant. Be made redundant. Redundant.
余分な、解雇された。
Reinforcement. Reinforcement.
補強、強化。
Military reinforcement. Military reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. Structural reinforcement. Structural reinforcement. Reinforcement.
補強、強化。
Eloquence. Eloquence.
雄弁さ、説得力。
Speak with eloquence. Speak with eloquence. Natural eloquence. Natural eloquence. Eloquence of the speech. Eloquence of the speech. Eloquence.
雄弁。
Consistency. Consistency.
変わらず安定していること。
Maintain consistency. Maintain consistency. Lack of consistency. Lack of consistency. Consistency in quality. Consistency in quality. Consistency.
一貫性。
Adolescent. Adolescent.
思春期の人、期間。
Adolescent behavior. Adolescent behavior. Adolescent child. Adolescent child. An adolescent phase. An adolescent phase. Adolescent.
思春期の若者。
Exotic. Exotic.
異国的で珍しい。
Exotic food. Exotic food. Exotic animal. Exotic animal. Exotic destination. Exotic destination. Exotic.
異国風の珍しい。
Vent. Vent.
通気口、感情の発散。
Vent frustration. Vent frustration. Air vent. Air vent. Vent emotions. Vent emotions. Vent.
感情を発散する、通気口。
Casualty. Casualty.
被害者、死傷者。
Civilian casualty. Civilian casualty. War casualty. War casualty. Number of casualties. Number of casualties. Casualty.
死傷者。
plaintiff, plaintiff,
訴訟を起こす側。
filed by the plaintiff, filed by the plaintiff, plaintiff's lawyer, plaintiff's lawyer, plaintiff in the case, plaintiff in the case, plaintiff,
原告。
shareholder, shareholder,
会社の株を持つ人。
major shareholder, major shareholder, shareholder meeting, shareholder meeting, rights of shareholders, rights of shareholders, shareholder,
株主。
oppressive, oppressive,
過酷で自由を奪う。
oppressive regime, oppressive regime, oppressive heat, oppressive heat, oppressive rules, oppressive rules, oppressive,
抑圧的な、過酷な。
vulnerable, vulnerable,
傷つきやすい、弱い。
vulnerable to attack, vulnerable to attack, emotionally vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, vulnerable group, vulnerable group, vulnerable,
傷つきやすい。
query, query,
質問、疑問。
answer a query, answer a query, submit a query, submit a query, customer query, customer query, query,
質問、質問する。
triumphant, triumphant,
勝利を得た。
triumphant smile, triumphant smile, triumphant return, triumphant return, triumphant tone, triumphant tone, triumphant,
勝ち誇った。
worship, worship,
神聖視して崇める。
worship at the temple, worship at the temple, religious worship, religious worship, worship the gods, worship the gods, worship,
崇拝する、崇拝。
autonomy, autonomy,
自主性、自治権。
gain autonomy, gain autonomy, personal autonomy, personal autonomy, regional autonomy, regional autonomy, autonomy,
自治、自立。
integrated, integrated,
一体となった。
integrated system, integrated system, fully integrated, fully integrated, integrated society, integrated society, integrated,
統合された。
composite, composite,
複数の要素からなる。
composite material, composite material, composite image, composite image, Composite structure. Composite structure. Composite.
合成の合成物。
Dweller. Dweller.
ある場所に住む人。
City dweller. City dweller. Cave dweller. Cave dweller. Apartment dweller. Apartment dweller. Dweller.
住人。
Expire. Expire.
期限が切れる。
Passport expires. Passport expires. Expire soon. Expire soon. Membership expired. Membership expired. Expire.
期限が切れる。
Explicit. Explicit.
明白で詳細な。
Explicit instructions. Explicit instructions. Explicit content. Explicit content. Make it explicit. Make it explicit. Explicit.
明確な、はっきりした。
Coherent. Coherent.
筋道の通った。
Coherent argument. Coherent argument. Coherent structure. Coherent structure. Coherent explanation. Coherent explanation. Coherent.
一貫した、筋の通った。
Alleged. Alleged.
証拠なしに言われた。
Alleged crime. Alleged crime. Alleged suspect. Alleged suspect. Alleged incident. Alleged incident. Alleged.
申し立てられた。
Aristocratic. Aristocratic.
貴族に属する。
Aristocratic family. Aristocratic family. Aristocratic title. Aristocratic title. Aristocratic manner. Aristocratic manner. Aristocratic.
貴族の。
Thrift. Thrift.
お金を賢く使うこと。
Practice thrift. Practice thrift. Value thrift. Value thrift. Thrift store. Thrift store. Thrift.
倹約、節約。
Collide. Collide.
激しくぶつかる。
Cars collide. Cars collide. Collide with another object. Collide with another object. Collide in midair. Collide in midair. Collide.
衝突する。
Toxic. Toxic.
有害な、毒のある。
Toxic gas. Toxic gas. Toxic relationship. Toxic relationship. Toxic waste. Toxic waste. Toxic.
有毒な。
Designate. Designate.
正式に選ぶ、示す。
Designate a leader. Designate a leader. Designate an area. Designate an area. Designated driver. Designated driver. Designate.
指名する、指定する。
Hitch. Hitch.
小さな問題、引っ掛ける。
Without a hitch. Without a hitch. A small hitch. A small hitch. Hitch a trailer. Hitch a trailer. Hitch.
引っかかり、引っかかる。
Strategic. Strategic.
有利になるように計画された。
Strategic decision. Strategic decision. Strategic location. Strategic location. Strategic plan. Strategic plan. Strategic.
戦略的な。
Sneer. Sneer.
軽蔑やあざけりを表す。
Sneer at someone. Sneer at someone. A cold sneer. A cold sneer. Give a sneer. Give a sneer. Sneer.
あざ笑う、あざけり。
Prosecute. Prosecute.
法的手続きを取る、遂行する。
Prosecute a case. Prosecute a case. Prosecute the offender. Prosecute the offender. Decide to prosecute. Decide to prosecute. Prosecute.
起訴する、遂行する。
Assault. Assault.
暴力的な攻撃。
Assault charge. Assault charge. Victim of assault. Victim of assault. Commit an assault. Commit an assault. Assault.
暴行、暴行する。
Dilemma. Dilemma.
難しい選択。
Moral dilemma. Moral dilemma. Face a dilemma. Face a dilemma. Classic dilemma. Classic dilemma. Dilemma.
ジレンマ、板挟み。
Subconscious. Subconscious.
意識の元の心の状態。
Subconscious mind. Subconscious mind. Subconscious desire. Subconscious desire. In the subconscious. In the subconscious. Subconscious.
潜在意識の潜在意識。
Equity. Equity.
公平、純資産。
Gender equity. Gender equity. Equity in property. Equity in property. Invest in equity. Invest in equity. Equity.
公平、資産の純額。
Parable. Parable.
道徳を含む短い話。
Biblical parable. Biblical parable. Parable of wisdom. Parable of wisdom. Learn from a parable. Learn from a parable. Parable.
例え話、偶話。
statute, statute,
制定された法律。
state statute, state statute, statute of limitations, statute of limitations, enact a statute, enact a statute, statute,
法律、法令。
entity, entity,
独立した存在や組織。
legal entity, legal entity, business entity, business entity, separate entity, separate entity, entity,
存在、団体。
accelerate, accelerate,
速度を上げる。
accelerate quickly, accelerate quickly, accelerate growth, accelerate growth, accelerate the process, accelerate the process, accelerate,
加速する。
devastate, devastate,
完全に破壊する。
devastate the town, devastate the town, emotionally devastated, emotionally devastated, natural disaster devastates, natural disaster devastates, devastate,
壊滅させる。
speculate, speculate,
推測する、投資する。
speculate about the future, speculate about the future, speculate in stocks, speculate in stocks, wildly speculate, wildly speculate, speculate,
推測する、投機する。
agitation, agitation,
不安や興奮の状態。
political agitation, political agitation, agitation grew, agitation grew, in a state of agitation, in a state of agitation, agitation,
動揺、扇動。
jurisdiction, jurisdiction,
法的支配力、管轄権。
under jurisdiction, under jurisdiction, legal jurisdiction, legal jurisdiction, within the jurisdiction, within the jurisdiction, jurisdiction,
管轄権。
allegedly, allegedly,
証拠なしに主張されることによれば。
allegedly involved, allegedly involved, allegedly guilty, allegedly guilty, allegedly stolen, allegedly stolen, allegedly,
申し立てによれば。
submerge, submerge,
水中に沈む、沈める。
submerge a town, submerge a town, submerge completely, submerge completely, submerge in water, submerge in water, submerge,
沈める、水没させる。
divinity, divinity,
神であること、神学。
Study divinity. Study divinity. Believe in divinity. Believe in divinity. Divinity of Christ. Divinity of Christ. Divinity.
神聖、神学。
Artisan. Artisan.
手作業の熟練労働者。
Local artisan. Local artisan. Artisan bread. Artisan bread. Skilled artisan. Skilled artisan. Artisan.
職人、熟練工。
Parental. Parental.
親に関する。
Parental love. Parental love. Parental control. Parental control. Parental responsibility. Parental responsibility. Parental.
親の。
Suffice. Suffice.
十分である。
That will suffice. That will suffice. Suffice to say. Suffice to say. One example suffices. One example suffices. Suffice.
十分である。
Burglary. Burglary.
盗む目的の侵入。
Report a burglary. Report a burglary. Convicted of burglary. Convicted of burglary. Attempted burglary. Attempted burglary. Burglary.
侵入等、強盗。
Interact. Interact.
他者と関わる。
Interact with people. Interact with people. Interact naturally. Interact naturally. Interactive learning. Interactive learning. Interact.
交流する。
Ignition. Ignition.
火をつけること、指導。
Car ignition. Car ignition. Ignition switch. Ignition switch. Ignition key. Ignition key. Ignition.
点火。
Segment. Segment.
全体の一部。
Market segment. Market segment. Orange segment. Orange segment. Segment the data. Segment the data. Segment.
部分、分割する。
Numb. Numb.
感覚がない、麻痺した。
Numb with cold. Numb with cold. Emotionally numb. Emotionally numb. Feel numb. Feel numb. Numb.
麻痺した、麻痺させる。
Lurk. Lurk.
こっそり潜む。
Lurking danger. Lurking danger. Lurk in the shadows. Lurk in the shadows. Lurk online. Lurk online. Lurk.
潜む。
Quote. quote,
言葉を正確に繰り返す。
quote a passage, quote a passage. Famous quote, famous quote. Quote from the book, quote from the book. Quote,
引用する、引用。
hemisphere, hemisphere.
球体の半分。
Northern hemisphere, northern hemisphere. Brain hemisphere, brain hemisphere. Southern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Hemisphere,
半球。
warehouse, warehouse.
物品を保管する建物。
Large warehouse, large warehouse. Warehouse manager, warehouse manager. Store in a warehouse, store in a warehouse. Warehouse,
倉庫、倉庫に保管する。
considerate, considerate.
他人に気遣いを示す。
A considerate person, a considerate person. Be considerate of others, be considerate of others. Considerate behavior, considerate behavior. Considerate,
思いやりのある。
expel, expel.
追い出す、除名する。
Expel a student, expel a student. Expel air, expel air. Expel from the country, expel from the country. Expel,
追放する。
windmill, windmill.
風で動く装置。
Traditional windmill, traditional windmill. Windmill turns, windmill turns. Build a windmill, build a windmill. Windmill,
風車。
practitioner, practitioner.
職業に従事する人。
Medical practitioner, medical practitioner. Legal practitioner, legal practitioner. Experienced practitioner, experienced practitioner. Practitioner,
従事者。
depict, depict.
描写する、表現する。
Depict a scene, depict a scene. Depict the character, depict the character. Accurately depict, accurately depict. Depict,
描く、描写する。
aesthetic, aesthetic.
美に関する。
Aesthetic value, aesthetic value. Aesthetic sense, aesthetic sense. Aesthetic appeal, aesthetic appeal. Aesthetic,
美的な、美学の。
constraint, constraint.
制限や抑制。
Time constraint, time constraint. Budget constraint, budget constraint. Under constraint, under constraint. constraint,
制約、制限。
emit, emit,
放出する、発する。
emit light, emit light, emit sound, emit sound, emit gases, emit gases, emit,
放出する、発する。
swirl, swirl,
渦巻く、回る。
swirl of smoke, swirl of smoke, leaf swirl, leaf swirl, swirl around, swirl around, swirl,
渦巻く、渦巻き。
propel, propel,
前へ押し出す。
propel forward, propel forward, propel by engine, propel by engine, strongly propel, strongly propel, propel,
推進する。
substantially, substantially,
大幅に、実質的に。
substantially increase, substantially increase, substantially different, substantially different, substantially complete, substantially complete, substantially,
大いに、実質的に。
correlation, correlation,
二つ以上の間の関係。
positive correlation, positive correlation, high correlation, high correlation, correlation between A and B, correlation between A and B, correlation,
相関関係。
dignify, dignify,
品位を与える、尊重する。
dignify the ceremony, dignify the ceremony, dignify with attention, dignify with attention, dignify a position, dignify a position, dignify,
品位を与える。
treacherous, treacherous,
裏切りの、危険な。
treacherous road, treacherous road, treacherous ally, treacherous ally, treacherous waters, treacherous waters, treacherous,
裏切りの、危険な。
faction, faction,
内部の小集団、派閥。
political faction, political faction, split into factions, split into factions, rival factions, rival factions, faction,
派閥。
entangle, entangle,
絡ませる、巻き込む。
entangle in wires, entangle in wires, entangle in conflict, entangle in conflict, entangled relationship, entangled relationship, entangle,
絡ませる、巻き込む。
luminous, luminous,
明るく光を放つ。
Luminous stars. Luminous stars. Luminous paint. Luminous paint. Luminous display. Luminous display. Luminous.
光り輝く。
Suburban. Suburban.
都市周辺の住宅地に関する。
Suburban area. Suburban area. Suburban life. Suburban life. Suburban train. Suburban train. Suburban.
郊外の。
Rave. Rave.
熱狂的に話す、絶賛する。
Rave reviews. Rave reviews. Rave about the movie. Rave about the movie. Rave fan. Rave fan. Rave.
熱狂的に話す、絶賛。
Raft. Raft.
浮かぶための木材やゴムの板。
Wooden raft. Wooden raft. Build a raft. Build a raft. Cross by raft. Cross by raft. Raft.
イカダ。
Extinguish. Extinguish.
消す、終わらせる。
Extinguish a fire. Extinguish a fire. Extinguish hope. Extinguish hope. Extinguish the light. Extinguish the light. Extinguish.
消す、絶やす。
Prologue. Prologue.
導入部分、序章。
Prologue to the novel. Prologue to the novel. Short prologue. Short prologue. Read the prologue. Read the prologue. Prologue.
序章、前置き。
Communion. Communion.
深い共有、交わり。
Religious communion. Religious communion. Communion with nature. Communion with nature. Take communion. Take communion. Communion.
交わり、生産。
Bail. Bail.
一時的な釈放。
Post bail. Post bail. Release on bail. Release on bail. Deny bail. Deny bail. Bail.
保釈する、保釈。
Rumble. Rumble.
低く重い音を出す。
Rumble of thunder. Rumble of thunder. Stomach rumble. Stomach rumble. Rumble in the distance. Rumble in the distance. Rumble.
ゴロゴロなる、ゴロゴロという音。
Adolescence. Adolescence.
子供と大人の間の時期。
During adolescence. During adolescence. Adolescent stage. Adolescent stage. Problems in adolescence. Problems in adolescence. Adolescence.
思春期。
vomit, vomit,
胃の内容物を吐き出す。
vomit blood, vomit blood, feel like vomiting, feel like vomiting, violent vomiting, violent vomiting, vomit,
吐く、嘔吐。
obsess, obsess,
頭から離れなくなる。
obsessed with appearance, obsessed with appearance, obsess over details, obsess over details, obsess about failure, obsess about failure, obsess,
取り憑かれる。
gush, gush,
急に大量に流れる。
blood gushed out, blood gushed out, gush of emotion, gush of emotion, water gushing, water gushing, gush,
吹き出す、噴出。
revenue, revenue,
企業や政府の収入。
tax revenue, tax revenue, company revenue, company revenue, increase revenue, increase revenue, revenue,
収益、歳入。
negligent, negligent,
注意を怠る。
negligent behavior, negligent behavior, negligent in duty, negligent in duty, negligent attitude, negligent attitude, negligent,
怠慢な、不注意な。
unify, unify,
一つにする。
unify a nation, unify a nation, unify standards, unify standards, efforts to unify, efforts to unify, unify,
統一する。
medication, medication,
病気を治療するための薬。
take medication, take medication, prescribed medication, prescribed medication, medication schedule, medication schedule, medication,
薬、投薬。
gauge, gauge,
測る、評価する。
gauge pressure, gauge pressure, fuel gauge, fuel gauge, gauge reaction, gauge reaction, gauge,
測定する、計器。
slaughter, slaughter,
大量に殺す、屠殺する。
mass slaughter, mass slaughter, slaughter animals, slaughter animals, slaughterhouse worker, slaughterhouse worker, slaughter,
虐殺する、虐殺。
traverse, traverse,
横断する、渡る。
traverse the desert, traverse the desert, traverse a bridge, traverse a bridge, Traverse a region. Traverse a region. Traverse.
横断する。
Tavern. Tavern.
酒を提供する場所。
Old tavern. Old tavern. Village tavern. Village tavern. Tavern owner. Tavern owner. Tavern.
居酒屋。
Rusty. Rusty.
錆びている。
Rusty bike. Rusty bike. Rusty skills. Rusty skills. Rusty metal. Rusty metal. Rusty.
錆びた。
Agonize. Agonize.
激しく悩む、苦しむ。
Agonize over a decision. Agonize over a decision. Agonize for days. Agonize for days. Agonize emotionally. Agonize emotionally. Agonize.
苦悩する。
Presidency. Presidency.
大統領の地位や任期。
During his presidency. During his presidency. Presidency term. Presidency term. Run for presidency. Run for presidency. Presidency.
大統領職。
Hangover. Hangover.
酒の飲みすぎによる不快感。
Bad hangover. Bad hangover. Suffer a hangover. Suffer a hangover. Hangover remedy. Hangover remedy. Hangover.
二日酔い。
Pharmacy. Pharmacy.
薬を扱う場所、学問。
Go to the pharmacy. Go to the pharmacy. Pharmacy school. Pharmacy school. Pharmacy technician. Pharmacy technician. Pharmacy.
薬局、薬学。
Wicket. Wicket.
小さな門、クリケット用語。
Open the wicket. Open the wicket. Cricket wicket. Cricket wicket. Ticket wicket. Ticket wicket. Wicket.
小さな門、ウィケット。
Rapture. Rapture.
大きな喜び、恍惚。
In rapture. In rapture. Feel rapture. Feel rapture. Tears of rapture. Tears of rapture. Rapture.
歓喜、有頂天。
Skid. Skid.
制御できず滑る。
Car skidded. Car skidded. Skid on ice. Skid on ice. Skid marks. Skid marks. Skid.
スリップする、スリップ。
Assassinate. Assassinate.
政治的な理由で殺す。
Assassinate the leader. Assassinate the leader. Attempt to assassinate. Attempt to assassinate. Assassinated president. Assassinated president. Assassinate.
暗殺する。
Lust. Lust.
強い欲望。
Overcome with lust. Overcome with lust. Lust for power. Lust for power. Uncontrollable lust. Uncontrollable lust. Lust.
欲望、強く欲する。
Abound. Abound.
豊富に存在する。
Fish abound. Fish abound. Opportunities abound. Opportunities abound. Abound in nature. Abound in nature. Abound.
たくさんある。
Prostitute. Prostitute.
金銭目的の性行為。
Hire a prostitute. Hire a prostitute. Prostitute oneself. Prostitute oneself. Illegal prostitution. Illegal prostitution. Prostitute.
売春婦、売春する。
Contaminate. Contaminate.
汚す、不純にする。
Contaminate water. Contaminate water. Contaminate food. Contaminate food. Contaminated area. Contaminated area. Contaminate.
汚染する。
Unstable. Unstable.
安定していない。
Unstable economy. Unstable economy. Emotionally unstable. Emotionally unstable. Unstable structure. Unstable structure. Unstable.
不安定な。
Archaic. Archaic.
非常に古い。
Archaic words. Archaic words. Archaic system. Archaic system. Archaic practices. Archaic practices. Archaic.
古風な、古代の。
Durable. Durable.
長持ちする。
Durable goods. Durable goods. Durable material. Durable material. Highly durable. Highly durable. Durable.
耐久性のある。
Retort. Retort.
鋭く言い返す。
Retort angrily. Retort angrily. Quick retort. Quick retort. Witty retort. Witty retort. Retort.
言い返す、言い返し。
Gender. Gender.
社会的、生物的な性。
Gender roles. Gender roles. Gender equality. Gender equality. Gender identity. Gender identity. Gender.
性別。
Ongoing. ongoing,
今も続いている。
ongoing process, ongoing process, ongoing investigation, ongoing investigation, ongoing project, ongoing project, ongoing,
継続中の。
sarcastic, sarcastic,
からかうような皮肉。
sarcastic comment, sarcastic comment, speak sarcastically, speak sarcastically, sarcastic tone, sarcastic tone, sarcastic,
皮肉な。
disaster, disaster,
突然の不幸、惨事。
natural disaster, natural disaster, economic disaster, economic disaster, disaster struck, disaster struck, disaster,
災害、大失敗。
fad, fad,
一時的なブーム。
latest fad, latest fad, short-lived fad, short-lived fad, follow a fad, follow a fad, fad,
一時的流行。
analogy, analogy,
似ている点を使った比較。
draw an analogy, draw an analogy, analogy between A and B, analogy between A and B, use an analogy, use an analogy, analogy,
類推、類似。
assorted, assorted,
様々な種類の。
assorted chocolates, assorted chocolates, assorted items, assorted items, assorted colors, assorted colors, assorted,
各種取り揃えた。
exalt, exalt,
地位を上げる、褒める。
exalt a hero, exalt a hero, exalt the values, exalt the values, exalted by success, exalted by success, exalt,
高める、褒めたたえる。
integrity, integrity,
誠実さ、道徳性。
personal integrity, personal integrity, professional integrity, professional integrity, act with integrity, act with integrity, integrity,
誠実、高潔。
defective, defective,
完全でない、不良の。
defective product, defective product, defective part, defective part, technically defective, technically defective, defective,
欠陥のある。
attainment, attainment,
目標などの達成。
educational attainment, educational attainment, Attainment of goals. Attainment of goals. Level of attainment. Level of attainment. Attainment.
達成、習得。
Shudder. Shudder.
恐怖や寒さで震える。
Shudder with fear. Shudder with fear. A violent shudder. A violent shudder. Shudder at the thought. Shudder at the thought. Shudder.
身震いする、身震い。
Cramp. Cramp.
筋肉の急激な収縮。
Leg cramp. Leg cramp. Severe cramp. Severe cramp. Cramp during exercise. Cramp during exercise. Cramp.
痙攣、痙攣する。
Frantic. Frantic.
取り乱した、必死の。
Frantic search. Frantic search. Frantic call. Frantic call. Frantic effort. Frantic effort. Frantic.
取り乱した、必死の。
Tickle. Tickle.
軽く触れて笑わせる。
Tickle someone. Tickle someone. A tickling sensation. A tickling sensation. Tickle under the chin. Tickle under the chin. Tickle.
くすぐる、くすぐり。
Allegation. Allegation.
証拠のない主張。
Deny the allegation. Deny the allegation. Serious allegation. Serious allegation. Make an allegation. Make an allegation. Allegation.
申し立て。
Delicacy. Delicacy.
珍しい食べ物、繊細さ。
Local delicacy. Local delicacy. Handle with delicacy. Handle with delicacy. Cultural delicacy. Cultural delicacy. Delicacy.
珍味、繊細さ。
Ecological. Ecological.
生態系に関する。
Ecological balance. Ecological balance. Ecological system. Ecological system. Ecological concern. Ecological concern. Ecological.
生態学の、環境の。
Tug. Tug.
力強く引く。
Tug the rope. Tug the rope. A gentle tug. A gentle tug. Tug of war. Tug of war. Tug.
引っ張る、引っ張ること。
Ironic. Ironic.
期待と逆の結果、皮肉な。
Ironic twist. Ironic twist. Ironically true. Ironically true. Ironic tone. Ironic tone. Ironic.
皮肉な。
Lyric. lyric,
歌の言葉、感情表現のある。
song lyrics, song lyrics, lyric poem, lyric poem, beautiful lyrics, beautiful lyrics, lyric,
歌詞、叙情的な。
rouge, rouge,
頬や唇につける赤い化粧品。
apply rouge, apply rouge, red rouge, red rouge, cheek rouge, cheek rouge, rouge,
紅を指す。
sulfur, sulfur,
黄色い化学元素。
smell of sulfur, smell of sulfur, sulfur compound, sulfur compound, burning sulfur, burning sulfur, sulfur,
硫黄。
ripple, ripple,
小さな波、波紋。
ripple effect, ripple effect, water ripples, water ripples, ripples of laughter, ripples of laughter, ripple,
さざ波が立つ。
testimony, testimony,
法廷での証言。
give testimony, give testimony, witness testimony, witness testimony, sworn testimony, sworn testimony, testimony,
証言。
recede, recede,
後ろに下がる、退く。
receding hairline, receding hairline, water recedes, water recedes, recede into distance, recede into distance, recede,
後退する。
ascertain, ascertain,
確かめる、確認する。
ascertain the truth, ascertain the truth, ascertain the cause, ascertain the cause, ascertain the facts, ascertain the facts, ascertain,
確かめる。
negligible, negligible,
取るに足らない。
negligible effect, negligible effect, negligible amount, negligible amount, almost negligible, almost negligible, negligible,
ごくわずかな。
compatible, compatible,
共存、互換できる。
compatible devices, compatible devices, mutually compatible, mutually compatible, compatible with system, compatible with system, compatible,
互換性のある、両立できる。
aboriginal, aboriginal,
先住の、先住民。
aboriginal culture, aboriginal culture, aboriginal community, aboriginal community, Aboriginal rights. Aboriginal rights. Aboriginal.
先住の、先住民。
Disdain. Disdain.
見下すこと。
With disdain. With disdain. Utter disdain. Utter disdain. Disdain the offer. Disdain the offer. Disdain.
軽蔑する、軽蔑。
Finite. Finite.
限りのある。
Finite resources. Finite resources. Finite amount. Finite amount. Life is finite. Life is finite. Finite.
有限の。
Poach. Poach.
不法に取る、密猟する。
Poach animals. Poach animals. Poach staff. Poach staff. Poached eggs. Poached eggs. Poach.
密猟する、盗む。
Paraphrase. Paraphrase.
別の言葉で言い直す。
Paraphrase the sentence. Paraphrase the sentence. Simple paraphrase. Simple paraphrase. Paraphrase for clarity. Paraphrase for clarity. Paraphrase.
言い換える、言い換え。
Blur. Blur.
はっきりしない状態にする。
Blur the image. Blur the image. Blurred vision. Blurred vision. Memory is a blur. Memory is a blur. Blur.
ぼやける、ぼやけたもの。
Prophecy. Prophecy.
将来に関する予言。
Ancient prophecy. Ancient prophecy. Prophecy fulfilled. Prophecy fulfilled. Make a prophecy. Make a prophecy. Prophecy.
予言。
Hierarchy. Hierarchy.
階層パテな仕組み。
Social hierarchy. Social hierarchy. Corporate hierarchy. Corporate hierarchy. Top of the hierarchy. Top of the hierarchy. Hierarchy.
階級制度、序列。
Decimal. Decimal.
10を元とした数。
Decimal point. Decimal point. Decimal system. Decimal system. Convert to decimal. Convert to decimal. Decimal.
小数、小数の。
Par. Par.
平均、基準と同じ。
On par with. On par with. Below par. Below par. Above par. Above par. Par.
同等、平均。
Laptop. Laptop.
持ち運びできるコンピュータ
Open a laptop. Open a laptop. Carry a laptop. Carry a laptop. New laptop model. New laptop model. Laptop.
ノートパソコン。
Aviation. Aviation.
飛行や航空業。
Aviation industry. Aviation industry. Aviation fuel. Aviation fuel. History of aviation. History of aviation. Aviation.
航空。
Captivity. Captivity.
囚われている状態。
Held in captivity. Held in captivity. Years of captivity. Years of captivity. Escaped captivity. Escaped captivity. Captivity.
囚われの状態。
Sterile. Sterile.
菌がない、生殖できない。
Sterile equipment. Sterile equipment. Sterile land. Sterile land. Medically sterile. Medically sterile. Sterile.
無菌の、不毛の。
Breakthrough. Breakthrough.
大きな進展。
Scientific breakthrough. Scientific breakthrough. Make a breakthrough. Make a breakthrough. Breakthrough idea. Breakthrough idea. Breakthrough.
大発見、突破口。
Transcript. Transcript.
書き起こし、成績証明書。
Academic transcript. Academic transcript. Transcript of speech. Transcript of speech. Official transcript. Official transcript. Transcript.
写し、記録。
Deodorant. Deodorant.
匂いを防ぐ製品。
Use deodorant. Use deodorant. Spray deodorant. Spray deodorant. Roll on deodorant. Roll on deodorant. Deodorant.
消臭剤。
Desperation. Desperation.
絶望してやけになる状態。
Act in desperation. Act in desperation. Feeling of desperation. Feeling of desperation. Out of desperation. Out of desperation. Desperation.
絶望、死に物狂い。
Shrill. Shrill.
甲高く鋭い声や音。
Shrill voice. Shrill voice. Shrill sound. Shrill sound. Shrill cry. Shrill cry. Shrill.
甲高い、叫ぶ。
Contagious. Contagious.
人にうつる、感染する。
Contagious disease. Contagious disease. Highly contagious. Highly contagious. Contagious laughter. Contagious laughter. Contagious.
感染性の、伝染する。
ambiguous, ambiguous,
はっきりしない、解釈の余地がある。
ambiguous statement, ambiguous statement, ambiguous meaning, ambiguous meaning, legally ambiguous, legally ambiguous, ambiguous,
曖昧な、
hostage, hostage,
身代金や脅しのために拘束された人。
take a hostage, take a hostage, release the hostage, release the hostage, hostage situation, hostage situation, hostage,
人質。
facilitate, facilitate,
容易にする、促進する。
facilitate communication, facilitate communication, facilitate learning, facilitate learning, facilitate the process, facilitate the process, facilitate,
促進する、容易にする。
sovereign, sovereign,
主権を持つ、支配者。
sovereign state, sovereign state, sovereign nation, sovereign nation, absolute sovereign, absolute sovereign, sovereign,
主権者、主権を有する。
addiction, addiction,
何かに依存する状態。
drug addiction, drug addiction, internet addiction, internet addiction, struggle with addiction, struggle with addiction, addiction,
中毒、依存症。
hitherto, hitherto,
今までのところ。
hitherto unknown, hitherto unknown, hitherto unseen, hitherto unseen, hitherto mentioned, hitherto mentioned, hitherto,
これまで、今まで。
strangle, strangle,
首を絞める、妨げる。
strangle a victim, strangle a victim, strangle the economy, strangle the economy, strangle the idea, strangle the idea, strangle,
絞め殺す、妨げる。
maze, maze,
複雑で迷いやすい場所。
a maze of streets, a maze of streets, get lost in a maze, get lost in a maze, mental maze, mental maze, maze,
迷路、混乱。
quiver, quiver,
小刻みに震える。
quiver with fear, quiver with fear, leaves quiver, leaves quiver, a slight quiver, a slight quiver, quiver,
震える、震え。
supervisor, supervisor,
作業を監督する人。
factory supervisor, factory supervisor, Team supervisor. Team supervisor. Under a supervisor. Under a supervisor. Supervisor.
監督者、上司。
Conserve. Conserve.
守る、節約する。
Conserve energy. Conserve energy. Conserve nature. Conserve nature. Conserve water. Conserve water. Conserve.
保存する、節約する。
Nurture. Nurture.
育てる、養う。
Nurture talent. Nurture talent. Nurture children. Nurture children. Emotional nurture. Emotional nurture. Nurture.
育てる、養育。
Tilt. Tilt.
傾ける、傾く。
Tilt the chair. Tilt the chair. Tilt of the head. Tilt of the head. Slightly tilted. Slightly tilted. Tilt.
傾ける、傾き。
Tonic. Tonic.
元気づけるもの。
Herbal tonic. Herbal tonic. Tonic for the soul. Tonic for the soul. Take a tonic. Take a tonic. Tonic.
元気づけるもの、競争剤。
Integration. Integration.
一つにまとめること。
Racial integration. Racial integration. System integration. System integration. Social integration. Social integration. Integration.
統合、融合。
Dissolution. Dissolution.
終わらせること、解体。
Dissolution of parliament. Dissolution of parliament. Company dissolution. Company dissolution. Dissolution of marriage. Dissolution of marriage. Dissolution.
解散、解消。
Arrogance. Arrogance.
思い上がり。
Show arrogance. Show arrogance. Arrogance of power. Arrogance of power. Act with arrogance. Act with arrogance. Arrogance.
傲慢。
Rotate. Rotate.
軸を中心に回る。
Rotate the wheel. Rotate the wheel. Rotate jobs. Rotate jobs. Earth rotates. Earth rotates. Rotate.
回転する、交代する。
Tribal. Tribal.
部族に関する。
Tribal customs. Tribal customs. Tribal leader. Tribal leader. Tribal conflict. Tribal conflict. Tribal.
部族の。
Craze. Craze.
短期的なブーム。
Fashion craze. Fashion craze. New craze. New craze. Craze for dancing. Craze for dancing. Craze.
熱狂、一時的流行。
Pier. Pier.
水に突き出した構造物。
Walk on the pier. Walk on the pier. Fishing pier. Fishing pier. Wooden pier. Wooden pier. Pier.
桟橋。
Relic. Relic.
過去の名残を示すもの。
Ancient relic. Ancient relic. Religious relic. Religious relic. Relic of the past. Relic of the past. Relic.
遺物、名残。
Aerial. Aerial.
空に関する。
Aerial view. Aerial view. Aerial attack. Aerial attack. Aerial photography. Aerial photography. Aerial.
空中の、航空の。
Juvenile. Juvenile.
若者に関する。
Juvenile crime. Juvenile crime. Juvenile behavior. Juvenile behavior. Juvenile detention. Juvenile detention. Juvenile.
未成年者、未熟な。
Resolute. Resolute.
決意が固い。
Resolute decision. Resolute decision. Resolute attitude. Resolute attitude. Resolute leader. Resolute leader. Resolute.
断固とした。
Nourishment. Nourishment.
体に必要な栄養。
Proper nourishment. Proper nourishment. Source of nourishment. Source of nourishment. Lack of nourishment. Lack of nourishment. Nourishment.
栄養、需要。
Donor. Donor.
何かを提供する人。
Blood donor. Blood donor. Organ donor. Organ donor. Generous donor. Generous donor. Donor.
提供者、寄付者。
Coup. Coup.
突然の政権奪取。
Military coup. Military coup. Successful coup. Successful coup. Stage a coup. Stage a coup. Coup.
クーデター、成功。
Underlying. Underlying.
根底にある、隠れた。
Underlying cause. Underlying cause. Underlying issue. Underlying issue. Underlying message. Underlying message. Underlying.
根本的な、下にある。
Humiliate. humiliate,
恥をかかせる。
humiliate in public, humiliate in public, feel humiliated, feel humiliated, humiliate a rival, humiliate a rival, humiliate,
恥をかかせる。
rarity, rarity,
珍しいこと、もの。
great rarity, great rarity, cultural rarity, cultural rarity, a rarity in nature, a rarity in nature, rarity,
珍しいもの。
reddish, reddish,
やや赤い。
reddish hair, reddish hair, reddish hue, reddish hue, reddish soil, reddish soil, reddish,
赤みがかった。
merge, merge,
一つに合わさる。
merge two companies, merge two companies, traffic merge, traffic merge, merge smoothly, merge smoothly, merge,
合併する、融合する。
shrewd, shrewd,
鋭く賢い。
shrewd investor, shrewd investor, shrewd judgment, shrewd judgment, shrewd strategy, shrewd strategy, shrewd,
抜け目のない、賢い。
glaze, glaze,
艶を出す、光沢を与える。
glaze pottery, glaze pottery, glazed eyes, glazed eyes, sugar glaze, sugar glaze, glaze,
艶を出す、艶。
parish, parish,
教会の管轄区域。
parish church, parish church, parish priest, parish priest, local parish, local parish, parish,
教区。
thereby, thereby,
その結果として。
thereby increasing, thereby increasing, thereby improving, thereby improving, thereby reducing, thereby reducing, thereby,
それによって。
unprecedented, unprecedented,
前例のない、異例の。
unprecedented event, unprecedented event, unprecedented growth, unprecedented growth, unprecedented crisis, unprecedented crisis, unprecedented,
前例のない。
validity, validity,
正当性、有効であること。
test validity, test validity, question the validity, question the validity, legal validity, legal validity, validity,
有効性、
norm, norm,
基準、社会的規範、
social norm, social norm, cultural norms, cultural norms, norm of conduct, norm of conduct, norm,
規範、標準、
vendor, vendor,
販売する人、業者、
street vendor, street vendor, software vendor, software vendor, approved vendor, approved vendor, vendor,
売り手、販売業者、
diabetes, diabetes,
血糖値が高くなる病気、
type 2 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, diabetes treatment, diabetes treatment, diagnosed with diabetes, diagnosed with diabetes, diabetes,
糖尿病、
momentum, momentum,
動きによって得られる力、
gain momentum, gain momentum, lose momentum, lose momentum, maintain momentum, maintain momentum, momentum,
勢い、推進力、
opt, opt,
選択する、
opt for change, opt for change, opt out, opt out, opt to stay, opt to stay, opt,
選ぶ、
chunk, chunk,
大きな部分、塊、
chunk of ice, chunk of ice, chunk of text, chunk of text, large chunk, large chunk, chunk,
大きな塊、
secular, secular,
宗教と関係ない、
secular society, secular society, secular education, secular education, secular values, secular values, secular,
世俗の、
manipulate, manipulate,
巧みに扱う、操る、
manipulate data, manipulate data, manipulate a person, manipulate a person, manipulate results, manipulate results, manipulate,
操作する、操る、
sanction, sanction,
制裁または許可、
economic sanctions, economic sanctions, impose a sanction, impose a sanction, give sanction, give sanction, sanction,
制裁、制裁を科す、
poke, poke,
つく、押す、
poke with a stick, poke with a stick, poke fun, poke fun, Poke someone. Poke someone. Poke.
つく、つき。
Immune. Immune.
病気や影響を受けない。
Immune system. Immune system. Immune to criticism. Immune to criticism. Immune response. Immune response. Immune.
免疫のある。
Remnant. Remnant.
残されたもの。
Fabric remnant. Fabric remnant. Remnants of war. Remnants of war. Only a remnant. Only a remnant. Remnant.
残り、異物。
Inventory. Inventory.
商品や物品の一覧。
Check inventory. Check inventory. Inventory system. Inventory system. Low inventory. Low inventory. Inventory.
在庫、棚卸し。
Grotesque. Grotesque.
奇妙で不気味な。
Grotesque image. Grotesque image. Grotesque creature. Grotesque creature. Grotesque humor. Grotesque humor. Grotesque.
奇怪な、奇怪なもの。
Discourse. Discourse.
形式ばった会話や論文。
Political discourse. Political discourse. Academic discourse. Academic discourse. Engage in discourse. Engage in discourse. Discourse.
論説、談話。
Reminder. Reminder.
思い出させるもの。
Gentle reminder. Gentle reminder. Daily reminder. Daily reminder. Reminder email. Reminder email. Reminder.
思い出させるもの。
Willingness. Willingness.
心よくする姿勢。
Willingness to help. Willingness to help. Show willingness. Show willingness. Lack of willingness. Lack of willingness. Willingness.
意欲、心よくする気持ち。
Verdict. Verdict.
最終判断、評決。
Guilty verdict. Guilty verdict. Reach a verdict. Reach a verdict. Deliver a verdict. Deliver a verdict. Verdict.
評決、判断。
Nutrient. Nutrient.
体に必要な栄養素。
Essential nutrient. Essential nutrient. Plant nutrients. Plant nutrients. Nutrient-rich food. Nutrient-rich food. Nutrient.
栄養素。
Syndrome. Syndrome.
症状の集合体。
Down syndrome. Down syndrome. A rare syndrome. A rare syndrome. Treatment for syndrome. Treatment for syndrome. Syndrome.
症候群、
Squad. Squad.
小規模な集団、チーム、
Police squad. Police squad. Football squad. Football squad. Squad leader. Squad leader. Squad.
部隊、班、
Credibility. Credibility.
信頼できること、
Gain credibility. Gain credibility. Credibility gap. Credibility gap. High credibility. High credibility. Credibility.
信頼性、
Legislature. Legislature.
法律を制定する機関、
National legislature. National legislature. Pass-through legislature. Pass-through legislature. State legislature. State legislature. Legislature.
立法機関、
Collaboration. Collaboration.
協力、共同作業、
Team collaboration. Team collaboration. International collaboration. International collaboration. Collaboration between artists. Collaboration between artists. Collaboration.
協力、共同作業、
Respondent. Respondent.
回答者、または訴訟での被告、
Survey respondent. Survey respondent. Legal respondent. Legal respondent. Respondent's opinion. Respondent's opinion. Respondent.
回答者、被告、
Racism. Racism.
人種による差別、
Fight racism. Fight racism. Systemic racism. Systemic racism. Racism in society. Racism in society. Racism.
人種差別、
Infrastructure. Infrastructure.
社会の基盤となる設備、
Transport infrastructure. Transport infrastructure. Digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure. Build infrastructure. Build infrastructure. Infrastructure.
基盤施設、インフラ、
Sovereignty. Sovereignty.
国家の最高権限、
National sovereignty. National sovereignty. Sovereignty over territory. Sovereignty over territory. Assert sovereignty. Assert sovereignty. Sovereignty.
主権、
Behavioral. Behavioral.
行動に関する、
Behavioral science. Behavioral science. Behavioral problem. Behavioral problem. Behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapy. Behavioral.
行動の
Sibling. Sibling.
兄弟または姉妹。
Older sibling. Older sibling. Sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. Close sibling relationship. Close sibling relationship. Sibling.
兄弟姉妹。
Synonym. Synonym.
意味が似ている語。
Synonym for happy. Synonym for happy. Dictionary of synonyms. Dictionary of synonyms. Find a synonym. Find a synonym. Synonym.
同義語。
Shoelace. Shoelace.
靴を結ぶ紐。
Tie shoelaces. Tie shoelaces. Loose shoelace. Loose shoelace. Broken shoelace. Broken shoelace. Shoelace.
靴紐。
Verify. Verify.
真実かどうかを確かめる。
Verify identity. Verify identity. Verify the result. Verify the result. Verify facts. Verify facts. Verify.
検証する、確認する。
Gorge. Gorge.
狭い谷または貪るように食べる。
Mountain gorge. Mountain gorge. Gorge on snacks. Gorge on snacks. Deep gorge. Deep gorge. Gorge.
峡谷、腹いっぱい食べる。
Cult. Cult.
過激な宗教、社会集団。
Dangerous cult. Dangerous cult. Cult following. Cult following. Cult leader. Cult leader. Cult.
カルト、熱狂的集団。
Aptitude. Aptitude.
生まれつきの能力。
Aptitude test. Aptitude test. Musical aptitude. Musical aptitude. High aptitude. High aptitude. Aptitude.
才能、適性。
Miser. Miser.
お金を使わない人。
Old miser. Old miser. Live like a miser. Live like a miser. Miser with wealth. Miser with wealth. Miser.
ケチ、主戦度。
Ramp. Ramp.
傾斜になった道。
Wheelchair ramp. Wheelchair ramp. Loading ramp. Loading ramp. Build a ramp. Build a ramp. Ramp.
傾斜路、ランプ。
Ore. Ore.
金属を含む石。
Iron ore. Iron ore. Mine ore. Mine ore. Rich in ore. Rich in ore. Ore.
鉱石。
Abbreviate. Abbreviate.
短くする、省略する。
Abbreviate a word. Abbreviate a word. Abbreviate name. Abbreviate name. Abbreviate the title. Abbreviate the title. Abbreviate.
省略する。
Ingenuity. Ingenuity.
独自の工夫や発想。
Engineering ingenuity. Engineering ingenuity. Show ingenuity. Show ingenuity. Full of ingenuity. Full of ingenuity. Ingenuity.
独創性、巧妙さ。
Swap. Swap.
物を交換する。
Swap gifts. Swap gifts. Swap seats. Swap seats. A book swap. A book swap. Swap.
交換する、交換。
Afar. Afar.
遠くで、離れて。
From afar. From afar. See afar. See afar. Watch from afar. Watch from afar. Afar.
遠くに。
Analogous. Analogous.
似ている、類似した。
Analogous situation. Analogous situation. Analogous to. Analogous to. Analogous features. Analogous features. Analogous.
類似の。
A lot. A lot.
配分する、割り当てる。
A lot time. A lot time. A lot resources. A lot resources. A lot tasks. A lot tasks. A lot.
割り当てる。
Descent. Descent.
異議を唱える。
Express dissent. Express dissent. Political dissent. Political dissent. Dissenting opinion. Dissenting opinion. Dissent.
異議を唱える、異議。
Diverge. Diverge.
分かれる、分岐する。
Paths diverge. Paths diverge. Diverge from tradition. Diverge from tradition. Opinions diverge. Opinions diverge. Diverge.
分かれる、それる。
Distaste. Distaste.
強い嫌悪感。
Distaste for violence. Distaste for violence. Feel distaste. Feel distaste. Express distaste. Express distaste. Distaste.
嫌悪、反感。
Overt. Overt.
隠されずに行われた。
overt racism, overt racism, overt action, overt action, overt conflict, overt conflict, overt,
公然の明白な。
ordeal, ordeal,
困難な体験、試練。
face an ordeal, face an ordeal, survive the ordeal, survive the ordeal, a long ordeal, a long ordeal, ordeal,
試練、辛い体験。
crescent, crescent,
三日月の形。
crescent moon, crescent moon, a crescent shape, a crescent shape, waxing crescent, waxing crescent, crescent,
三日月型、三日月型の。
outnumber, outnumber,
数で上回る。
outnumber opponents, outnumber opponents, greatly outnumbered, greatly outnumbered, women outnumber men, women outnumber men, outnumber,
数で勝る。
pact, pact,
公式な合意、協定。
sign a pact, sign a pact, peace pact, peace pact, secret pact, secret pact, pact,
協定、約束。
consolation, consolation,
悲しみを和らげるもの。
seek consolation, seek consolation, words of consolation, words of consolation, a small consolation, a small consolation, consolation,
慰め、安らぎ。
purge, purge,
不要なものを取り除く。
purge the system, purge the system, political purge, political purge, purge old files, purge old files, purge,
追放する、追放。
distortion, distortion,
歪んだ状態、誤った表現。
sound distortion, sound distortion, distortion of facts, distortion of facts, visual distortion, visual distortion, distortion,
歪み、ねじれ。
remorse, remorse,
深い後悔。
feel remorse, feel remorse, deep remorse, deep remorse, remorse for actions, remorse for actions, remorse,
後悔、良心の呵責。
apathy, apathy,
関心や感情の欠如。
public apathy, public apathy, emotional apathy, emotional apathy, apathy towards politics, apathy towards politics, apathy,
無関心。
lifelike, lifelike,
本物そっくりの。
lifelike statue, lifelike statue, lifelike drawing, lifelike drawing, look lifelike, look lifelike, lifelike,
実物そっくりの。
transit, transit,
通過すること、輸送。
public transit, public transit, in transit, in transit, transit system, transit system, transit,
通過、輸送。
faithless, faithless,
誠実でない、裏切る。
faithless lover, faithless lover, faithless friend, faithless friend, act of faithlessness, act of faithlessness, faithless,
裏切りの、不誠実な。
enrage, enrage,
激しく怒らせる。
enrage the crowd, enrage the crowd, enraged response, enraged response, enrage someone with words, enrage someone with words, enrage,
激怒させる。
ply, ply,
定期的に行き来する、懸命に働く。
ply a route, ply a route, ply a trade, ply a trade, boats ply the river, boats ply the river, ply,
精を出す、行き来する。
dogma, dogma,
権威によって定められた信条。
religious dogma, religious dogma, challenge dogma, challenge dogma, strict dogma, strict dogma, dogma,
教義、独断。
occupant, occupant,
住んでいる人、占有している人。
room occupant, room occupant, previous occupant, previous occupant, sole occupant, sole occupant, occupant,
居住者、占有者。
excerpt, excerpt,
文章などからの抜粋。
read an excerpt, read an excerpt, excerpt from a novel, excerpt from a novel, excerpted paragraph, excerpted paragraph, excerpt,
抜粋、抜粋する。
erroneous, erroneous,
誤った、不正確な。
erroneous assumption, erroneous assumption, erroneous report, erroneous report, factually erroneous, factually erroneous, erroneous,
誤った。
siege, siege,
軍による包囲攻撃。
under siege, under siege, siege warfare, siege warfare, Lay siege to. Lay siege to. Siege.
包囲、
Adornment. Adornment.
飾ること、装飾品、
Hair adornment. Hair adornment. Simple adornment. Simple adornment. Festive adornment. Festive adornment. Adornment.
装飾、飾り、
Notional. Notional.
観念的な、理論上の、
Notional value. Notional value. Notional idea. Notional idea. Notional concept. Notional concept. Notional.
概念的な、名目上の、
Militant. Militant.
攻撃的な、戦闘的な、
Militant group. Militant group. Militant protester. Militant protester. Militant stance. Militant stance. Militant.
好戦的な、活動家、
Bin. Bin.
収納、廃棄用の容器、
Trash bin. Trash bin. Recycling bin. Recycling bin. Storage bin. Storage bin. Bin.
ゴミ箱、容器、
Inconceivable. Inconceivable.
想像できない、
Almost inconceivable. Almost inconceivable. Seem inconceivable. Seem inconceivable. Inconceivable situation. Inconceivable situation. Inconceivable.
考えられない、
Bonfire. Bonfire.
屋外での大きな焚き火、
Light a bonfire. Light a bonfire. Bonfire night. Bonfire night. Huge bonfire. Huge bonfire. Bonfire.
焚き火、大きな焚き火、
Constable. Constable.
イギリスなどの警官、
Village constable. Village constable. Police constable. Police constable. Speak to a constable. Speak to a constable. Constable.
巡査、
Gravestone. Gravestone.
墓の上に置く石、
Carved gravestone. Carved gravestone. Ancient gravestone. Ancient gravestone. Gravestone inscription. Gravestone inscription. Gravestone.
墓石、
Enmity. Enmity.
敵対心、憎しみ、
Deep enmity. Deep enmity. Feel enmity. Feel enmity. Mutual enmity. Mutual enmity. Enmity.
敵意、憎しみ、
Chronic. Chronic.
長期にわたる、慢性の、
Chronic disease. chronic disease, chronic pain, chronic pain, chronic stress, chronic stress, chronic,
慢性的な、
forearm, forearm,
肘から手首までの腕、
strengthen forearms, strengthen forearms, forearm muscles, forearm muscles, enter the forearm, enter the forearm, forearm,
前腕、備える、
interrogate, interrogate,
正式に尋ねる、尋問する、
interrogate a suspect, interrogate a suspect, police interrogation, police interrogation, interrogate carefully, interrogate carefully, interrogate,
尋問する、
exempt, exempt,
義務を免れる、
exempt from tax, exempt from tax, exempt employee, exempt employee, exempt status, exempt status, exempt,
免除する、免除された、
monopolize, monopolize,
独占する、占有する、
monopolize the market, monopolize the market, monopolize attention, monopolize attention, attempt to monopolize, attempt to monopolize, monopolize,
独占する、